friends, welcome back to Designs by Dana. I am Dana and I am a close to my heart consultant. Today I want to share with you this awesome card. It was actually shared by another close to my heart maker and I thought it was just so cute. I thought I wanted to make one for myself, and this is the one that I made. It's a I like to call them fun fold cards. So it's a triple fold card and it opens like this. And I think that is just so adorable. So let me show you in the catalog the stamp set that is used to make this cute little card. So this is the March-April 2022 idea book. And the stamp set we're using is When It Rains Stamp and Thin Cut Set Z4424. I like to call it the Rainbow Girl stamp because I think she's just so stinking cute. The sentiments on this set are typically ones that you might use for sympathy or when somebody's just having a particularly tough time in life. But I think that she's cute enough that you could really use her for other purposes as well. So let me bring in some of the items that we're going to use today. And I'm going to pull in my all-purpose mat here because I just love to use this to work on. So I have a lot of things that are prepared in advance for us to use. And we're going to do a lot of paper piecing. So I wanted to share with you how to do that technique. So the card we're going to make tonight is using different papers and patterns, and I'm working on killing this kit. So hopefully by the time we're done with this card, I will have very little of this paper left. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to cut the hole in this front panel of the card, and you can see it's two different pieces. With this card I did some stenciling, so it's white on white. With the one we're going to make today though, I'm going to use this cute little glacier polka dots. So I'm going to lay this down where I want it to be positioned, and I'm just going to lightly tack down that paper, and then I can go ahead and run that through the die cut machine. This is the die cut I'm using, and it is coming from the shaker window and confetti thin cuts. So this is the circle, the outside circle of that. I'm going to cut it twice. I'm going to cut it on my opening, and then I'm going to cut it again to give me this piece right here, and I'm going to use this denim pattern paper for that. So I'm going to just kind of center this where I think I want that to be, and use a little post-it note tape to hold that into place. And then I'm going to take these two pieces of paper and go to my die cut machine and cut those out off camera. So we'll be right back with that. Okay, so we're back and we have all of these pieces cut out. So I'm now finished with that die cut piece. I've got my little circle ring for this piece here. I love to save these pieces because I can always use them on other projects. So I'm going to put that aside. I've got this piece, which I'm not going to need. So I'm going to save these to use on another project as well. And then I've got these pieces. My white piece here, I'm going to be able to use, I think I'm going to have to cut another white piece to go on the back of that. But the white will go on there just as so. And then I can take this back off, but I'm going to leave it for now so you kind of have the visual effect of what we're building here. So now we have all of our different pieces that we're going to piece together. This is the piece or the panel that will go onto the inside of the card. I could have just stamped that on the well, I did stamp it on the inside. The reason I didn't just stamp it on the inside of the card is because we want this little piece to be able to tuck underneath there. So that's the reason I did it that way. So let's go ahead and look at all of these pieces that I pre-stamped so that we can do all of our paper piecing. So this piece is going to be used on this one. So we're obviously not going to use the whole part of her body. And then of course we have the centerpiece for the inside of the card. And then we're only going to need one umbrella for the outside of the card. So I've got all of these pre-stamped. They're going to need to be cut out. I've got all of her little jackets stamped, the little boots stamped, and then an extra umbrella to go on the front of the card so when you open it, you don't see the back side of this pattern paper. So what I'm going to do is off camera, I'm going to go ahead and cut all of these out so you don't have to watch me fussy cut those. But I will share one tip with you. Before I cut these out, I'm going to adhere them to the self-adhesive paper that Close to My Heart sells. It looks like this, but it does come in a 12 by 12 sheet. So by adhering these tiny pieces to the self-adhesive sheets, once I cut them out, they will be so much easier to adhere onto my paper doll. So I'm going to do that off camera and we'll come back to put all the pieces together. Okay, I have all my pieces cut out here except for one, and I wanted to show you how I did that fussy cutting around here. So these are the little boots, and I don't know how well you can see those on camera, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut those. And like I mentioned before, I did add the adhesive sheets behind there, and it does make it a little thicker, which in my mind makes it a little easier to cut out. So I'm going to cut this, and I'm actually cutting it right on the line. Normally I like to leave a little bit of border around my images, but this time because I'm doing the paper piecing, I'm cutting right on the line. Another different thing about these, because they're so intricate, I normally tell people to move the paper and not your scissors, but with these you'll notice I am moving my scissors a little bit more, just because they're so small and I want to get it very, very precise and right on that black line. So I'm just kind of doing a little bit of both, but I am moving my scissors more than I normally would. And I'm going slow, I'm taking my time because I don't want to mess anything up here. And just getting that right on the line, or as close to that line as I possibly can get it. Okay, and there's our cute little rain boots. Aren't they adorable? Now I think we are ready to put together our little pieces here. So I did get that circle cut. And the first thing we're going to do is adhere these two pieces together so they have just a little bit of time to dry. And for me, it's a little bit easier to put the glue onto my base as opposed to onto my border. So I'm going to drop this down on here. And then give that just a minute to adhere nice and firm. So I'm just going to put that over here and let that sit for a moment. Now I'm going to start building from the bottom up. So this is the inside of our card. And all of these pieces, like I said, have the adhesive sheets on them. Let me get this glue out of the way here. Now, you'll notice, oh, I forgot to do this one. Let me see. I did do this one, so you'll get to see me do a little bit more cutting. I did cut around her hair, so I forgot to do this one. So I'm going to come in and do that real quick. And then I'm going to marker in her hair and the skin on her legs. So she's not completely paper pieced, but mostly she is. And this part is really, really intricate to get that hair cut out of there. I'm hoping you can see me stay on camera with that, and I'm sorry if I get too much of my head or body in there, but these are tiny pieces and I need to be able to see that up close really well. It's a very intricate little curl of the hair there. I think it's cut, and I just need to separate it there from the back. Let's just test it out. Oh, perfect. Okay. So let me bring in my markers. For this project, I'm using 4 different markers. I'm using the Fair Skin shades, or blend, I guess, the Aqua Blue blend, the Dark Red blend, and the Tan shades. So the hair is going to be the tan shades, and I'm going to come in with the light color and just give her some brownish red hair very lightly. There's not really enough here to do too much blending, so I'm just really gonna color that in like that. And we'll go ahead and do this one at the same time. Again, it's such a tiny little piece. I hope that I'm not getting my head in here, but if I am, I super apologize. Okay, I think I missed just a tiny little spot on that one. There we go. And for her skirt, I wanted to bring in that glacier color that we used on the front of the card. So I'm going to do the same thing here and just color that in. I can do just a tiny bit of blending here on the skirt. And if you guys have watched any of my technique videos, you know that I love to color with the markers and do the blending and the shading. So I'm just gonna play around with this and just put a little bit of shading right under her coat there and pull that out just a little bit. Now these are the tri-blend markers that Close to My Heart sells, and as you just noticed, they do come with 3 different colors in each marker, which makes them perfect for the blending and the shading, and I just absolutely love them. For me, somebody who likes to color, they have been an absolute game changer. So it's very subtle, but just enough to give it a little bit of visual dimension on her dress there. And now we'll come in with the fair shade, or Fair Skin, and we'll color the back of her legs. So we'll give her some skin tone. If she's anything like me, she's about as fair-skinned as you can get. So we'll keep her pretty pale. But we will add just a little bit more color and dimension to her, just to kind of shade her in a little bit. One thing that's nice about the Close to My Heart stamps is they have a lot of lines and extra features in the stamp to help you know where to do some of your darker shades or darker coloring for your blending. So that's kind of nice and helpful. I'm just going to blend those colors in a little bit. And I think that looks good. Okay, now we can start putting her together. I guess the simplest thing to do is start at the top, right? And work our way down. So I brought in my piercing tool, and I find that it's really helpful just to pull that adhesive sheet backing off. And we're just going to place the paper right on top of the stamped image. And you see how nicely that works, because I did cut, again, right on the line, or as close to the line as I could get that. And doesn't that look so cute? Oh my gosh, I love this technique. Now, this would also look really cute just colored in with markers, but this is just another fun way to fill in your outline stamps. So here we go with her little raincoat. Perfect fit. Now I am going to come in with the red on the raincoat, and because I want the raincoat and just going to test it out there, and her boots to match somewhat, like they coordinate, I'm going to color in her belt with some red, so it looks like her coat and her boots are somewhat of an ensemble. And you see that there's the little red dots in the paper here as well. So hopefully that makes it kind of tie together as more of a matching outfit. You can put comments in and let me know if you agree or not. But oh yeah, that's really cute. And then finally, we'll throw her boots on her. And I just love how easy these come together. Now, is that not the most adorable little girl you've seen? And again, Rainbow Girl, I think, or Umbrella Girl, I think is such a cute title for her. So I'm gonna put that one aside, and then we'll finish this one out, and then we'll need to cut her out as well. So again, let's start at the top, and we'll work our way down real quick. Unfortunately, with this one, a lot of her is going to get cut off, but we still needed all of the pieces. So we still need the umbrella, the jacket, and the boots to show. So whoops, got a little tear there. Okay, and I'll just come back in with that red. Make sure I'm getting the right. So there's light, medium, and dark. So I just want to make sure I'm sticking with the light color here. So cute. My customers laugh at me because I'm always saying, so cute. It's just so, so cute. I love it. But if you love it too, you'll have to let me know. Hopefully you do. Okay, there's girl number 2. Let's get her cut out and then we'll finish up our assembly. Okay, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but this cute little stamp set does come with a coordinating thin cut. So I was able to just run her right through my die cut machine, and voila, there she is. And this is the stamp set, by the way. I know I showed it to you in the catalog, but this is what the stamp set actually looks like. And the thin cut is the girl, and it comes with several different sentiments as well. So we're ready to assemble, and the next thing I want to do is finish up the inside of my card panel. And for that, I'm going to stamp just a couple little items. I'm going to bring in that glacier ink, and I'm going to stamp just a little puddle image right around her feet, as if she's kind of standing in a little water puddle. And then I want to do a few raindrops as well. Doing my little visual triangle there. Now we're ready to put her on the inside of the card panel. But before I can do that, I want to make sure I don't forget to adhere this little tag piece. So the first thing I want to do is stamp a sentiment on the inside of this tag piece. And what I've chosen for this one is this one here that says, "Thinking of you always makes me smile." And you'll notice that this is a very long sentiment. So I did a little stamp surgery and I cut that in half. And now I can stamp it in a 2-line stamp or 2-line image, and it will fit perfect. So I'm going to bring in my black ink for this and get that nice and inked up. And hope that I get this on here as straight as possible. Okay, and I like to give that just a second to soak into the cardstock so I get a nice, good, crisp image. This is a little bit thicker. It came out of one of the kits. So I'm just gonna kind of push on that, and beautiful. Love that. So I'm cleaning that with my stamp chamois. I will put all of the products that I'm using today in the description of the video as well, for anybody that's interested in that information. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere to the front of this my little tag piece. Just make sure I got the right side. You'll notice I went ahead and dovetailed that out. See, I think I'll fold that so I can make sure I'm getting it right. There we go. And now we're ready to go. So now my sentiment will be on the inside of that little piece. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to kind of center this, but at the same time I'm also going to use my front panel to help line it up on where it needs to go. So obviously it needs to come up a little bit. But remember, my umbrella is going to go right here, so I don't want it to come up too high. So I think about right there is good. So I'm going to just pull this up. Oh gosh. Okay, hopefully that didn't mess it up too much, but I'm going to just double check before I adhere the whole thing down. Okay, yep, I think that's good. So now I can adhere the inside down. Since this panel is going to be a little bit heavier than normal, I put a little extra adhesive on that. And I'm just kind of centering this on the inside of the card. Okay, now we're ready for our little circle, and it's going to go right here. And the easiest way I found to do this is go ahead and position it here and then pop it out. And now I know where I need my adhesive, so I'm going to go ahead and put my adhesive right where I need it. And again, I'm going to cover it pretty heavy. And then I can pop it right back on there. Oh, I was trying to pull off my front panel. I need to glue that down still. So now, ta-da! See how easy that fits together? So before I forget, let's go ahead and lift this piece back up and go ahead and adhere it down permanently. So we've just tacked that down. That wants to stay down. I may have tacked it too well. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to go around the circle a little bit because I don't want anything to gap open. And then, so I could line this up and make sure it fits, but I could also, if I wanted to, use the inside like this to make sure I'm lining it up perfect, which that is perfect. So now I can just lay it right back down. Okay, so the next thing that needs to happen is we need to put this girl right on top of that girl and just layer her exactly where she needs to go. So I can see that, gosh, I may not actually get her boots on this one. So I'm going to just kind of hold my finger right here so I know where my adhesive needs to go. And I'm going to cover this pretty heavily in adhesive, and I know it's going to go right about to her boots. And then I'm going to line it up again and put it down. Then I can just cut around the edges. Oh, I was really hoping I'd get to see the boots on there. Okay, so there's that piece. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple little raindrops here as well. Which I think that's just perfect. These little pieces of trash. And all we have left now is our front umbrella. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on this Glacier cardstock. And again, the reason I wanted to do that is because when you open this up, I didn't want the other side of that pattern to show through. And this will also make it just a little bit thicker, so it won't get as beaten up the more this card gets opened and closed. So we're going to close that up, kind of get a visual for where we're going to lay that down. It's about right there. And then I'm going to just put my adhesive on. This one could be popped up as well if you so choose, but I'm going to go ahead and do it flat because this card's already kind of thick as it is. So here's our card, and as a final touch, I did pull out some sequins. I thought might be kind of fun to add some embellishing on the front of the card. So this is my close to my heart pickup tool, and I thought just a couple little sequins would be kind of fun, maybe about like that. So I'm actually going to put a block on here because it wants to pop up, and I don't want it to do that with sequins on here. So I'm just going to pick these up. Oh, that one had two. So I'm going to pick them up and put my glue down, and then just put them down gently on top of the glue. This one's upside down. There we go. And I think there's one more thing I just want to add real quick. Another tiny little touch. Some liquid pearl. Get my scrap. I like to add a little liquid pearls right there in the center of her umbrella, just to kind of make that what would be a little bar pop up a little bit. Subtle but fun. Okay, let's get all of this out of the way, and we'll take one final look at our fun little project. So here's card number 1. And card number 2. So again, we've got our umbrella on the front, we've got our little girl, and again on the inside with our saying right there. And then it just flaps on the inside. And this one, I did the stenciling on the outside and then no sentiment on the inside. I hope that you like this. I can certainly provide measurements. I should have done that as I went along, but didn't. So I'm learning as I go. But please provide me some feedback. If you like the video, please subscribe. That lets YouTube know to show more of the same types of videos and gets me out there a little bit more since I'm brand new to the YouTube world. I would greatly appreciate that. And welcome your comments, constructive criticism as well. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.